our technology innovation panel. We now have Michael from DHL International here with us. Welcome, Michael.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
How was the panel?
I thought it was really well run. I enjoyed it. It was the first time I'd been on a panel like this, so I was a little bit nervous, but it was good.
All right. It's the first time for everything,
yeah,
right?
Sure.
Okay. So tell me about innovation at DHL. What's going on there?
Well, there's a number of things that we're doing at DHL. I really like to separate it in different levels. Within DHL, there's technology that's more readily available that we're applying in practices today. And then there are others that are more disruptive that we're exploring and trying to really understand where we might place ourselves in the future, such as blockchain technology. The ones that are more readily available, for example, we were talking about the use of HoloLens.
Yes.
And though HoloLens has a lot of promise for our industry, it's not something that on an industry scale that's able to be easily deployable. So we're using Google Glass, which is a little bit closer to home.
Right, so that's just the glasses with...
That's right,
It's not
yeah.
a big thing that you hook on
No,
your head.
no,
Okay.
it's lightweight.
Yes.
It's got a viewfinder that displays information to the user. So this is actually deployed in warehousing in Europe and Southeast Asia, and here in North America. And
Did you bring some with you?
I didn't, I'm sorry. So what this does is enables the employee to be able to operate a lot more freely rather than lugging around a handheld device for reading or scanning cargo. They use the Google Glass and they're able to scan the cargo as they're picking it, and it even indicates where in a particular bin they should place it. So
that's amazing.
yes.
Makes things that I would imagine far more efficient.
Absolutely. There's a lot of efficiencies that have been gained from this, and there's been some residual effects as well, for example, with safety. So we've seen a lot of a decrease in minor incident reporting and safety owing to the use, because they have the use of both of their hands.
Oh, that's interesting. That
Sure.
must have been a little bit of a surprise, maybe?
No, I think it was a anticipated byproduct, but it was just difficult to measure until we started using it on a wider scale.
Right. Okay, now if we look ahead, you mentioned that you are analyzing or looking at some things that could be disruptors. Can you give us an idea of what maybe the top candidates are?
A little bit earlier when we were in the panel, they had like this word bubble where people from the audience were able to voice what sort of technologies, emerging technologies they thought would come up in the future, would be used in our industry. And the two that I thought, or I identified as the most disruptive or potentially disruptive, was blockchain technology and 3D printing.
Okay.
With 3D printing, the potential for disruption is that eventually, if on a much larger scale, you have clients, customers, suppliers that are able to print the materials that they actually need, this is going to be extremely disruptive to supply chains. So rather than having to ship something, say, sourced from Europe, brought to the US, it can be printed here. That completely changes.
Job site,
absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely. And so the potential for the technology is, it's extremely interesting, but it also poses a threat in some ways to some of these supply chains and the actors that work in this space.